Owning a business isn't always easy. The last thing that you want is your claims history to get in the way. Good morning and welcome back to Coffee with Cody. This week I want to talk to you about the 10 most common business claims. Number 10, vehicular accidents. Vehicular accidents make up less than 5% of business claims. You can prevent these from happening by instituting a vehicle safety program. Reputational harm. This also makes up less than 5% of business claims. These usually include libel or slander. You want to avoid criticizing any of your competitors and make sure that you get permission to use any sort of content that you do not own. Being struck by an object. This also makes up less than 5% of business claims. These claims were to include any sort of fallen debris or tool from a moving construction truck or perhaps a piece of equipment. Product liability. Again, these make up less than 5% of business claims. These claims include products that are damaged or malfunctioning, customer injury and damage. Again, less than 5% of business claims. However, these would include ceiling tiles falling on a customer's head, maybe an employee spilling very hot coffee on them, or maybe they slip and fall and injure themselves. Now, a customer slipping and falling, as I stated previously, is actually number 5 on the list and makes up 10% of business claims. Now, you're not always going to be able to prevent this from happening, but make sure that when you're mopping your floors, you always put a wet floor sign out and maybe not mop the floor during a really busy time for your business. Fires. Again, this makes up 10% of business claims. To help prevent fire loss, every business should have an emergency preparedness plan. In addition, you should be running fire drills with your employees. Wind and hail damage. Wind and hail damage makes up 15% of business claims. This is number 3 on the list. Things you can do to help prevent any sort of wind and hail damage: bring things inside when you know you're at risk for wind and hail damage, or anchor down equipment that might be movable in case it does get picked up by the wind. Water and freezing. You can avoid these types of damages by making sure that there's no snow or ice on your roof, keeping the roof nice and clear, keeping your gutters clear, keeping adequate temperatures indoors, and training your employees to know how to shut the water off in case there were any sort of water main breaks or anything like that. Number 1 on the list, burglary and theft. These make up 20% of business claims. Most of the time, it's either a dishonest employee or an outsider. Businesses can prevent these claims by doing background checks, installing security cameras, putting up fencing, gates, alarms, all of these things. Now, workers' comp claims were not on the list. However, these are big claims, and sometimes the price tag that goes along with them can even be big. Implementing safety programs and having training programs for all sorts of things can really help prevent claims and reduce your claim history. All right, everyone, that is my tip or tips of the week. Thank you so much for joining me on this week's Coffee with Cody on this Thirsty Thursday. Be sure to subscribe down below to catch all the notifications every time we release a new video. Have a great week, everybody. Be safe and cheers.